Last month, a group of scammers successfully stole $240 million from a single victim, but their success was short-lived. This group of dweebs lasted about as long as Concord did because within a month, they were caught and assets frozen, 2 of them already being indicted, and it's all thanks to Zach XBT. This is someone I've talked about before. This guy is like Jason Bourne. If he's on your tail, your goose is cooked. Zach XBT is a scammer's worst nightmare. Him and CoffeeZilla I have the utmost respect for. They do incredible work with holding these pieces of shit accountable and catching them. And Zach XBT spearheaded this crazy investigation where he got everything. Like, he has probably more information on these guys than their own parents do. He's probably got all their fucking report cards from 2nd grade till they graduated. It is wild. And there's also video footage of them committing the crime. These goobers got the biblical smackdown put on them by Zach here. And since there's video recording of this, we get to hear from them. And holy shit, you get to hear just how sad and pathetic these dweebs are. And Zach also got like some of their messages that they exchanged. And one guy tried to use all of the money he stole to get girls, and yet continued to get rejected by all of them, at least from what we can see. It is unbelievable how pathetic they are. Anyway, here's kind of like the general breakdown of what happened. On August 19th of 2024, they targeted a Genesis creditor by calling his Google support via spoof number to compromise the account, calling his Gemini support claiming the account is hacked, social engineered victim into resetting 2-factor and sending Gemini funds to a compromised wallet, and then got the victim to use AnyDesk to share screen and leaked private keys from the Bitcoin core. He then also has some of the messages they exchanged about all of it. Reading through their messages, you can see that it's pretty much all social engineering. This is what hacking actually looks like for the most part. Very rarely is there a case where it's someone with fucking 5 keyboards surrounding them that they're typing on, injecting some kind of worm and code into the mainframe to hack, like the way it's portrayed in the movies with like a turbo hacker man with sunglasses on typing away furiously. Usually it's someone just pretending like, oh yes, I'm Phil Cheeseburger on behalf of Microsoft support, you're compromised. That's usually how it goes. So like reading through it, what you can do is, please just take a picture of the last 4 of the private key. You can crop the rest out and just please take the picture for now. You don't have to send it anywhere. So like they're just giving lines that they can feed this guy to convince him to do what they need in order to steal his money. They're basically just choosing dialogue tree options in a Bethesda game to try and steal people's shit.
No way. No fucking way.
I see it, bro. It's on the blockchain. It's on the blockchain, bro.
No fucking way, nigga.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No fucking way.
Yo! We're done! We're done! I'm spazzing out! Do you know how much money that is?
It's a quarter of a bill.
Probably. Spent 3 ways, or is it 4 ways? That's
That's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
I'm gonna lose my shit!
I can legitimately hear the Cheeto dust and fedora that the guy's wearing who keeps saying, probably a pretty penny. Probably like 10 pretty pennies. He sounds so fucking congested. Like I'm congested out the wazoo right now. But even I don't sound that bad, I don't think. Good lord, brother, holy. Dude just sounds like a wedgie magnet. It's actually baffling to me that they pulled this off and then had all of this evidence that they themselves gathered against themselves. Like, this is a private recording of them. You steal $240 million and you leave the biggest possible digital footprints. That's mind-boggling. Zach XBT claims that he has over an hour and a half of footage of these fucking goobers. There's also times where they slipped up revealing full names and other important information that Zach was able to gather. And the one I really want to focus on is Malone. Zach got some really good information on Malone because this guy loved to flaunt all of this shit. So he gets all this money and immediately starts spending $250 to $500K a night and giving out Birkin bags to random girls. There were girls on TikTok that were walking away from his parties just carrying Birkin bags, and I guarantee he didn't even get so much as a kiss on the cheek for it. This guy was blowing $500,000 a night to try and get laid, and I guarantee he's still a virgin. He even bought his crush a pink Lamborghini as well as 3 Birkin bags to try and lure her in and make her fall in love with him because of his money, and it doesn't work. He reaches out saying, "I got you a present, we'll call it an early birthday gift, a thank you gift, I appreciate you so much, heart." And all she says is, "I am taken once again," and he says, "I don't care." Malone, I know you care. Dude probably fell to his knees, crying into his hands, all this money, and he still cannot get a girl to be interested in him. Seems like he's using every doubloon that he stole to try and buy a girl's heart, and it is not working for him. She just shuts it down immediately, reminding him that she has a boyfriend. Like, that's so good. She doesn't even say thank you, by the way. This guy must actually be a huge nuisance, like a big piece of shit. She doesn't even bother to try and thank him. He must always try and use money as leverage on people or some shit, because she doesn't even entertain the idea for a second. That is so good. There is a part of me that hopes that she did at least still take the keys from him for the pink Lambo and then have the boyfriend reach out telling Malone thanks for the car. That would be the cherry on top. Now, Malone is one of the 2 that have already been indicted, so we get to take a look at this Casanova right here. This is the guy. We get to put a face to this pathetic douchebag. He was very public with all of his money and all of his spending too. So Zach XBT actually pulled up his Instagram and some of the photos on it where he'd flaunt the money that he stole and what he spent it on. Here's one from his Instagram page, which is unfortunately private now, so I can't peruse to see what other bangers might have been on there. But I love how, even in this photo, Malone is like the least visible person there. His 2 friends are front and center and Malone is in the background. Even in his own Instagram post, he is not like the main focus. This guy must have just been like a perpetual fucking loser, even in his own friend group. He gets hundreds of millions of dollars here, and still they don't respect him and don't care about him. They just use him for his money, and he is fine with that. That's the impression I get. Here's some more photos from his partying where he'd blow hundreds of thousands a night and buy girls Birkin bags. Anyway, though, let's talk about some of the others. So Zach XBT identified pretty much everybody here, so another one that also got indicted is Box. Now, Zach was able to find not only the information on these people, but also where all the funds were coming through, which led to a lot of the funds being frozen, as I understand it. I highly recommend you go to Zach XBT's actual Twitter page if you want like a full in-depth breakdown on how he did all of this. It's extremely impressive, and I'm too stupid to fully understand all the ways that he was able to pull this off. But what I do understand is that Zach fucked him. Like, he absolutely went wild on him. And now 2 of them have been indicted, and I think it's only a matter of time before the rest will also face justice too. Overall though, after reading through it all, I'm pretty surprised at how effective this was from these snot-nosed weirdos. They didn't do anything particularly new with this. It seems like pretty standard by-the-book social engineering with the Google support phone call, that kind of shit. That's something people have done for years. The method by which they actually took the Bitcoin is pretty different. Like, I haven't seen that done before, but to actually get in the door through this social engineering method is something that has been done for so long. I am just kind of surprised that it still worked this well for them with someone that had that much money. You would think that they probably wouldn't fall for something like that, but what's been proven time and time again is that just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you're super fucking smart. So they got very lucky that their victim played along, even gave them screen control, and they took that money. And the victim is very lucky that Zach XBT was on the case to catch all the people here, and maybe at some point even get the money back. But right now, the thing to celebrate is that Zach XBT has done an incredible job with this investigation, identifying all of the scammers here and getting them to face justice. Hopefully the rest of them will face it as well, so they'll join Malone and Box. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I've made a ton of videos making fun of those alpha male boot camps that charge desperate, gullible men tens of thousands of dollars to attend a course where they just get sprayed with a hose for 3 days and spit on and yelled at and get absolutely nothing of value out of it. And today I was made aware that there's a similar course for women. It's not exactly the same, but it's somewhat adjacent. It's not an alpha female course per se. You pay $2,000 to $4,000 to swing a stick in a forest while screaming. And it's supposed to be like this emotional release for things that are enraging you.
Would you pay $4,000 to swing big sticks and scream in the woods with the aim of releasing your anger?
Obviously, there's only one right answer to that question. Any sensible person on the planet would say, absolutely yes. It's more than worth it to go pay $2,000 to $4,000 to swing a fucking stick. Sign me up. I'm ready. That's something I can't do for free. Where am I gonna find a stick?
It is imperative that we allow ourselves safe spaces to release this fiery, hot emotion from within us.
So it's called the Rage Ritual Retreat.
If you want a healthy way of releasing all of your anger just to scream, shout, let it all out, solo queue in Rainbow Six Siege. I guarantee after your second game you won't have a voice left because you'd be too busy yelling at your fucking teammates who are lobotomites. Now, dropping the sarcasm, this is just a blatant scam. Charging people up to $4,000 to swing a stick while yelling? I couldn't imagine a worse use of your money. You would get more value out of using $4,000 as toilet paper. I would actually say that is a better use of those dollar bills as opposed to spending them on this con artist. Like, there's not even an overhead cost here. It's like genius from the scammer's perspective. All you do is just go into a forest and give them sticks and tell them to yell. One of their big selling points, at least from what I can tell, is that this is a safe space to do it in, a controlled environment where there's going to be no judgment and no one's going to hear you. Bah humbug, what a load of fucking horseradish. It's not like the lead lady here, who you're about to meet, surveyed the entire area within 3 miles to ensure that it's a closed set that no one's going to infiltrate. There's definitely going to be some hikers that might hear you, or some wildlife that's going to be startled and maybe you get charged by a bear who's confused or something. Like, it's not like this is some kind of environment she controls. All she did is get a class together and charge them thousands of dollars to swing sticks together. Something that you can do for free right now. And in fact, I will. I'm going to release my rage at seeing this blatant scam and people's willingness to just spend tons of money on absolute fucking nothing. But I don't have a stick, so instead I'm using this bold and brash picture.
And the founder's name is Mia, and she describes herself as a spiritual fairy godmother and is known online as Mia Magic.
You're gonna need big sticks.
Right now I feel angry, right now I feel frustrated. Everything, whatever you're feeling, let it out, express yourself.
Basically paying thousands of dollars for a guided anti-meditation class. So you visualize something you don't like. So for me, I've got a big mental image of James Corden. Grrr, I'm gritting my teeth. I gotta let all this anger out. Where's my stick? And then spiritual fairy godmother gives you permission to start yelling while hitting the ground with a stick till your arms give out. It's an actual caveman course. The lady behind it is a self-proclaimed mystic whose supernatural ability is getting middle-aged women to empty their piggy banks for her. And her rage ritual she describes as, when people do this and give themselves permission to release their anger, their capacity for joy actually expands. Which is a bunch of fucking mumbo-jumbo. Like, this gobbledygook is something you see in every angle of these scams. Like, alpha male boot camps do the same thing. Right now, you're a broken man and only we can fix you because we're gonna give you the capacity for success. So give us $18,000 so we can stick this hose up your ass. They're able to feel more happiness and pleasure, and they go home to their families with more gratitude and ease and peace. That's like the same goofy logic in the Purge movies. Alright, we're gonna make murder legal for one day, so that way you can get it all out of your system, and you won't want to murder anyone else for the entire 364 other days. This is like that same thought process. Alright, we're gonna go to the rage retreat for a little while, and you can scream a lot while swinging a stick, so when you go home, you're gonna be so much more peaceful, and you won't have any rage left, and you won't get angry again. As I've said in some of the alpha male courses where they have you scream into the instructor's bosom, literally just motorboating a dude's chest while screaming, I have said that it is definitely relieving to yell. Just have this big emotional dump. Ah! It feels great sometimes just to let it all out. I get it. And you know what the beauty of that is? It's free. You shouldn't be paying thousands of fucking dollars to do that. You can do it now. And I guess I should mention that she does have another more financially viable option where it's a one-day ticket at $222 per person. Now, just to put that in perspective, for 222 clams, you can just go to a fucking smash room right now, get yourself a sledgehammer or a baseball bat or your medieval weapon of choice, and just start breaking shit while yelling and screaming. That is like a full body release. It's very emotional if you want it to be, I guess. It's significantly cheaper, you're not getting scammed, and you get to have fun with it. Why not just do a smash room? Like, this has no advantages at all, except you go into a forest for it, which doesn't do anything. And it's not even like she's trying to sell it as that, like, oh, it improves your connection to nature through, like, this, you know, chakra realignment with the Earth's magnetic crust. Like, she's not even trying any of those weird angles that we see a lot. She is literally just saying, hey, come swing a stick and yell. Well, then let me cosplay as your financial advisor real quick. Save yourself the doubloons and go to a Smash Room right now if you think this is something that's going to help you feel better and, like, let off some steam. Go to Smash Room, save yourselves a lot of money, and bust up a car, destroy a toaster, fucking, I don't know, blast an old kitchen sink, whatever they have there, and start yelling and screaming, get real primal and guttural with it. Like, there is no reason anyone should be paying thousands of dollars or even the couple hundred dollars to do this rage retreat. It's just a scam.
Now, participants are encouraged to scream, to think of people and experiences that have wronged them, and swing big sticks for up to 20 minutes or until they can no longer move their arms as a way to release their emotions.
This is a place where we get to go full out without any feeling of restriction.
Hey, it's me, Charles, again, your spiritual Gary Godfather, your spiritual fairy godfather here. Just go to a Smash Room instead. You don't have to pay me for this advice here. Wish granted. You want to blow off some steam and scream and swing a stick? Go to a Smash Room. It's not nearly as much money as this. Okay, fairy godfather out. Poof.
Who has made me angry? Who has hurt me? Who has broken me? Who has cut me down?
Now, the rage rituals go down in the forest so that they don't have to worry about bothering people nearby. And if you're thinking of joining a rage ritual, the packages range from $2,000 to $4,000. And you know people online are sharing their thoughts on this creative therapeutic outlet. One user said, where is this? Asking for a friend.
This has nothing to do with the rage ritual anymore, but the video that I was linked here, I just find it very interesting, the comments they pick out. So that one right there, that has no updates at all. That seems like a comment production might have left there just to seed something in here that's positive. Somehow they only found positive comments when I know people would be clowning on this. 100%. I know for a fact they are because I looked at other uploads and most of the comments are laughing at it. Yet somehow they found the only 3 positive comments buried deep within there. I just thought that was kind of interesting to point out.
And this user said, I want in, while this user said, I wish women would just take their rage out on the people that are enraging them. These rituals are like a bandage for a bleeding wound. Now, Mia Magic said the next retreat will be in August and the location will be in France. So BG Squad, how do you feel about this rage ritual? And are you thinking of going to one too? Share your thoughts in the comments.
I hope you don't mind if I share my thoughts in this video. I will not be attending. And I encourage everybody else to do the same. Please stop paying thousands of dollars for things you can do yourself for free. You are getting absolutely nothing of value out of this, except I guess if you wanted to go to France. I mean, I guess if you want to take a vacation to France, but it seems like all you do there is go to France and swing a stick in the forests. Basically what you're doing is you're paying for this lady's vacation spots. That's more what it seems like to me. She's like, oh yeah, this one's gonna be in France because you're able to scream louder there, and like the forests are super isolated and serene. So yeah, this next one's gonna be in France. It's $4,000, by the way. Like, it seems like all you're doing is financing her traveling. Like, that's what the impression I get. There's no reason that it needs to go overseas. You can do this in any fucking forest ever. It's just so obviously a scam, taking advantage of gullible people. It's so fucking ridiculous, but that's just kind of the day and age. People are more than willing to just part with tons and tons of money for absolutely no reason at all. But yeah, I want to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya. There are so many scams out there, and some of them are downright ridiculous that you have to ask yourself, how could anyone ever fall for these? Such as the classic Nigerian prince. I have millions of dollars, but the US government won't let me transfer it to my bank account. Can I send it to your bank account to send back to me? That kind of thing, and we'll split the profits or whatever. And then it ends up with people losing all of their money, or those random cold call tech support messages. Hello, I work for Microsoft and your calculator has a virus. We're going to need 4 Bitcoin in order to solve this. This is an official Microsoft representative. And somehow those scams actually succeed. Usually the victims are geriatric, they're on the older side of things, so they're not tech savvy and end up getting caught hook, line, and sinker in these. But there are oftentimes scams that do hit a younger generation, like crypto scams, or RuneScape, God rest all of the souls that fell victim for the free armor trimming or money duping scams. I myself, even well into my adulthood, have fallen for RuneScape scams. But today I want to share with you, by far, the stupidest scam I have ever seen. And this one was trying to target insurance companies, which is like trying to scam on ultra nightmare mode. Two intellectual scholars hatched the genius scheme of intentionally giving one of them frostbite in both of his legs so that they need to be amputated and claim over $1 million in insurance money. They hatched this plan where it was an accident, something had gone wrong and he lost both of his legs, and thus insurance would need to give them a huge, fat, chunky payday, tons of doubloons. But as you'll see, things didn't quite go according to plan. And even if they did, it's the stupidest plan in the world to intentionally get rid of both of your legs to try and scam the insurance company and then split that money. That's the second time someone mentioned that guy. I'll look it up. So it was a college student who amputated his legs on purpose by getting frostbite for an insurance scam. Student alleges friend convinced him to amputate legs to claim $1.7 million in insurance money. The 23-year-old kept his feet in a bucket of dry ice for 10 hours and later claimed the frostbite was a result of riding a scooter at night. 23-year-old university student in Taiwan has had his legs amputated in an alleged insurance scam gone wrong. Seems like it went right. That was like the whole plan. This went all according to the scheme. In fact, it couldn't have gone more right for him. Taiwan's Criminal Investigation Bureau recently announced the student, identified as Chang, has been charged with insurance fraud as a result of the scheme. According to local media reports, Chang allegedly kept his feet in a bucket filled with dry ice for 10 hours, leading to severe frostbite and necrosis below the knee. He applied for compensation from 8 insurance policies after the amputation, allegedly hoping to pocket $1.7 million, and claimed the frostbite was the result of riding a scooter at night. I really feel like $1.7 million and losing both of your legs is not worth it. You should at least be going for 8 figures. Like, $1.7 million is a ton of fucking money, but that's not like set for life type money like generational wealth or anything. Especially to give away both of your legs. Man lost both his legs and got a felony charge. Yeah. Yikes. Doctors since something was off, though, noting an absence of shoe or sock marks and the symmetry of his injuries. The weather conditions on the night of the alleged incident were also not consistent with frostbite. Beyond that, Chang had taken out multiple insurance policies just days earlier. Chang allegedly worked with a co-conspirator, also 23, and identified as Lau. Chang claimed Lau was the mastermind behind the scheme, concocting a story that gang members were after him for an outstanding debt, when in reality, Lau had incurred financial losses from trading cryptocurrency. Oh my god. Is there a bigger clown on the planet? Could there be a bigger clown on the planet? This is worse than getting cucked. This is like 10x in terms of humiliation. You let your crypto bro friend convince you to get your legs amputated so you could make up for his financial losses? What a waste. What a fucking buffoon. The duo were originally high school classmates. The indictment reportedly states on January 26, 2023, Chang and Lau rode scooters to purchase dry ice in New Taipei City's Shangchong district. They later returned to Lau's residence in Taipei City, Zhongshan district, where he used cable ties to restrain Chang to a chair while he immersed his feet in dry ice from 2 a.m. until shortly after noon. Wait, this no longer sounds consensual. He tied him to the chair and left him there? Lau took photos and recorded some of the incident on his phone per the indictment. What? Why would you do that if this is supposed to be a fucking insurance scam? You're recording evidence to the contrary. How dumb is this guy? How stupid can you possibly be? There's photos of it on Reddit. Hold on, I've got to take a peek. It's not like, so the pictures aren't like gruesome or anything. It's just a picture of his friend tied down with zip ties with his legs in a bucket of dry ice. What in tarnation? Why was he tied up if it was consensual? It's probably like one of those things where even though you go into it knowing full well like you're committing to it, you're going to try and let it rip. When you actually get in the Crucible in the Thunderdome, you start panicking and freaking out, like, and run away or whatever, fight or flight response. So maybe this was to prevent that, and he agreed to it. I don't know. Honestly, probably the dumbest plan I've ever heard of in my life. Chang went to the hospital on January 28th, and his legs were amputated below the knees following more than a week of treatment. While he initially obtained nearly $10,000 through insurance claim, that money has since been seized by prosecutors, and both Zhang and Lau have been charged with fraud and embezzlement. Somewhat unbelievably, a similar insurance scam unfolded in Missouri in November. What? How can there be multiple people this stupid on the planet? What? I swear, like, you don't need to look further than a couple of headlines to realize that we are actually just getting dumber as a species, for sure. In that case, a Missouri man staged farm equipment accident to appear as though he had lost his feet to a brush hog, a type of rotary mower, in hopes of making an insurance claim. But when responding medics and law enforcement officers arrived at the scene, the man's feet were nowhere to be found and his injuries appeared to be too clean to be the result of a brush hog. The man in his 60s was a known paraplegic in his lower extremities, and authorities were immediately curious about the tourniquets on his legs and who applied them. So this is a little different. This Chang had 2 fully functional legs that he parted with for $10,000. This guy was apparently a paraplegic and sacrificed his feet to try and get some insurance money. That's different. Chang is still significantly fucking dumber. According to police, the man had been aided in the attempted scam by a Florida man who had cut off the man's legs with a hatchet. That's like some Winnie the Pooh blood and honey type shit. Investigators later determined that the incident has been an attempt to make a faulty insurance claim, but because the man never formally filed the false claim, he was not charged or identified. According to police, days after they responded to the scene, a relative found the man's feet in a bucket on the property which had been obscured by tires. So he kept it as like a little souvenir, like a trophy. According to the Bureau, Lau and Zhang were both charged with fraud, aiding and abetting serious injury. After the detention on January 17th, the authorities said that Zhang received one insurance payout of $7,200. However, it will be seized, and the insurance providers canceled the other claims filed following the incident due to the short period between receiving the policies and filing them. Rest in peace to both of his legs, and also all of his financial future. He's getting a fucking felony slapped on top of this. All that for nothing. Less than nothing. All that for significantly less than nothing. And there's yet another case in Slovenia where a woman cut off her hand with a circular saw for $1.2 million insurance scam. She's now serving a 2-year jail sentence. Are insurance scams even easy in the first place? I feel like they probably were a while ago, but it became so common with people faking insurance claims after getting hit by a car that they probably cracked down on it in a big way. I feel like it's probably pretty fucking tough these days. You were the victim of one? That's called ambulance chasing. It's not necessarily the same thing. I'm talking about, like, the classic fucking red-blooded American good old-fashioned insurance scam where you run in front of a car that's barely moving, throw yourself on it, and start hooting and hollering. You know, that's true. Maybe with the rise of dash cams and just general cameras everywhere, it might be just harder because of that. Back in 2001, there was a guy who charged people $20 to watch him cut off his own legs with a guillotine. Look up "Cut Off My Feet" if you want to read about it. $20 admission to watch a man cut off his legs? What? Oh, Wang made a video on it. "Cut Off My Feet, Tales from the Internet." Yeah, he's got a whole video on it. Man, here's an article from it in 2001. Man cut off his feet live on the internet and charged $20 for it. A disabled American man says he's going to cut off his own feet by guillotine on live pay-per-view. Again, this is another person who's, much like the Missouri man, did this when he didn't have his legs functioning. Very different from Chang, who took his own legs for the sake of insurance money. Sir Paul Morgan from Mississippi says he needs prosthetic feet because a lower leg injury made it impossible for him to walk. But he says medical insurance will not cover the cost of surgery, so he's asking web users to pay for the privilege of watching him do it by guillotine. Mr. Morgan has launched cutoffmyfeet.com to publicize his unusual venture. Of the 150,000 people who have visited the site, so far only 10 visitors have paid $20 to witness the event. Oh no! Oh no! It was a flop! Damn! Damn! Sold more tickets than Madam Web, but still, damn! According to the site, Mr. Morgan was injured in 1986 after he fell from the back of a truck and was run over by a boat trailer being towed by a vehicle. God damn. I mean, he made a whole spectacle out of this. He said a local anesthetic will be used during the procedure and an ambulance will be on standby. When asked if he was looking forward to pushing the button on the guillotine, he said, "Yes, the sooner this is done, the sooner it's over and new feet come." This man turned this into like a fucking creator clash level event. We got the anesthetic and the ambulance on standby. We've also got this truss put up with some lights above it so it'll be like a WWE match. It seems like he was going to do it one way or the other, because insurance wouldn't cover it. So I imagine he did it. Boo! Quick jump scare. I just want to quickly shout out Starforge Systems, the best PCs in the universe. It's a company I've been a part of since the start, and recently I guess a lot of people are waking up and opening their third eye to the beauty of PC gaming, because I've been getting asked a lot about where to start when it comes to PC gaming. So I just want to quickly talk about Starforge because we have the best PCs available. If you're someone who's just starting to dabble with PC gaming, we have a line called the Horizon series, which is just perfect for the everyday gamer. Or if you're someone looking for top-of-the-line equipment, top-notch, looking to upgrade to the best available, we have an entire line called the Voyager series. At Starforge, we have several different PCs at different price points, so you can always find the PC that's right for you and your needs. It's premium quality, impeccable attention to detail, white glove service at an accessible price point, and each computer comes with a full 2-year parts and labor warranty. Also, the logo is a hammer, not a penis. So yeah, if you're looking to upgrade your current PC or looking to get started with PC gaming, I highly recommend Starforge. I'll put a link in the description below. It's not often that I'll follow a news story for more than a month, but there's one story that I've been following for 5 years now, and it's finally concluded. It's been like my own little personal soap opera to enjoy, and for some reason one that not a ton of people have talked about, despite it being one of the biggest scams in GoFundMe history. Now please, hop into my magic school bus and allow me to take you on a journey through time. It is 2017 years after the death of Christ, and a woman named Caitlin McClure starts a GoFundMe titled Paying It Forward with a picture of her standing next to a homeless veteran named Johnny Bobbitt. She then tells the story about how her car broke down and she was out of gas, but Johnny Bobbitt came to the rescue like a saint, giving her his last $20 despite being homeless in order for her to pay for gas and get home. This heartwarming story tickled the soul of over 14,000 people who donated to this cause to try and help get Johnny Bobbitt a better life. The GoFundMe was started with a $10,000 goal, which was obviously fucking annihilated, raising over $400,000 for Johnny Bobbitt, and it was just a real feel-good story that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. This was 2017 and GoFundMe was very popular at the time. It still is, but this is when GoFundMe was really popping off. Some of you watching may have even donated to this cause, and I'm sorry to be the one to slap you with the unpleasant palm of the truth, but you were scammed. The 5-year investigation here has finally concluded. It was 100% a scam, and the verdicts have been passed. I'm going to get into the verdicts and everything towards the end, but I want to give you this entire timeline here because this is more wild than you'll probably expect. Now, I've been pretty outspoken about the dangers of GoFundMes. I think it's a great tool that gets abused by a lot of pieces of shit just trying to take advantage of good-intentioned people, just trying to squeeze money out of them. So you just gotta be careful. You can't just blindly donate to something on GoFundMe without doing your due diligence first to make sure it's legitimate. I can't even count the number of times there's been like a tragedy or something noteworthy in the news and a fraudulent GoFundMe campaign gets started. A lot of people donate to it and it turns out it was run by someone unrelated to the events and they just pocket the money and run. It happens so often. There's just so many scams there, you have to be careful. And you'll see a ton of these like feel-good GoFundMes or like really needing help things that have these like really sad stories. My son slipped on a banana peel at the park. He broke both of his legs, both of his arms, and his skull was cracked in half like a fucking walnut. I'm looking for $3,000 for emergency surgery ASAP to fix my son. You like scratch your head like, $3,000? That doesn't sound enough to cover the cost of all this. It sounds like you're gonna need a brand new Android son. Like fucking cybernetic enhancements here. $3,000 isn't gonna work. That's something fishy is afoot here. Then the next thing you know, you just bought that scammer a brand new Lexus. The point is, you just gotta be careful. That's what I'm trying to say. I'll stop ranting about GoFundMe now and get back to this story. So in 2017, Caitlin McClure was dating a man named Mark D'Amico. And then one fateful night they were texting each other and they started talking about a homeless man they both knew. That homeless man was Johnny Bobbitt. And we're talking about him, talking about like maybe wanting to help him, and they'd given him $10 in the past. And then an hour after this conversation between the two of them, they launched the Pay It Forward campaign after taking a picture with Johnny Bobbitt. And then they fabricated the whole gas story about how he gave Catherine his last $20 so she could get fuel and get home, which was a complete lie, confirmed in text messages, by the way. where McClure was bragging about it and talking to a friend about how she made up that part because she needed to make it sad. It's actually like a scam Ed, Edd n Eddy would have run for Jawbreakers here, except these are 400,000 Jawbreakers. They raked in a fat stack of cash, and then they started spending that money. They bought a BMW, a New Year's Eve trip to Las Vegas, helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon, Louis Vuitton handbags, a whole bunch of shit from these GoFundMe donations. They were just spending the fuck out of the money on all kinds of luxury items. And from reading some of the text messages, I do think this started with them just having a normal conversation about like maybe wanting to help that homeless guy. But when they saw how much money was coming in, they eventually just got completely corrupted by it and just decided to turn this into a cash cow for all three of them to milk together. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'm putting too much faith into assholes here, and this never had good intentions even from the get-go. But anyway, in 2018, Johnny Bobbitt shocked the world when he sued Kate McClure and Mark D'Amico, claiming that they were withholding most of the GoFundMe funds. According to him, he only received like about $75,000 worth of it, and he called it like his share of the funds. And from this lawsuit, it got investigators really interested in exactly what the fuck was going on here. So after doing a little poking and prodding and combing through 60,000 text messages, they concluded that this whole thing was made up and all three of them were in on it together with the goal of money. Big time cash. Fat, filthy clams. They all came together and agreed to keep up this story. So Bobbitt was in on it as well. This wasn't them just taking advantage of a homeless veteran. This was them cutting him into their scheme here. And it's been 5 years, and they've been going through the trial and all of that. Kate McClure was sentenced to a year in prison for her role in all of this, maintaining that Mark was the real mastermind here, the puppet master pulling the strings of this giant scam. Now, I'm no super sleuth, nor was I a detective on this case, but if you ask me, that's a load of baloney. I don't think Mark was forcing you to buy Louis Vuitton bags or flex your BMW or anything like this. I think you were very, very enthusiastic about this whole thing, especially when reading the text messages. I think getting a year for your role in this is really light sentencing. Johnny Bobbitt received a recovery program, and if he fails to stay clean, he could face up to 5 years in jail. And today, the big guy Mark D'Amico himself received a 5-year prison sentence for his role in this giant scam. Unfortunately, Mark didn't have a smile on his face today. He just didn't look very happy. But you know who was happy? Me. I was so pleased to see this. I absolutely love when a shit stain gets actual punishment for what they've done. Scamming people who are trying to help other people is one of the lowest things you can do. So I'm actually, I'm of the belief that he got off really easily here. All three of them did, if you ask me. I think this is deplorable, and I think there's absolutely no fucking excuse for it. So I think 5 years, 1 year, and a potential 5 years is really lenient, all things considered. But that's just me. I'm sure a lot of you are also curious as to whether or not the donors got their money back, and the answer is yes. In 2018, GoFundMe stepped up and refunded all 14,000 donors, gave back all 400 grand from this campaign. So good on them for making that right. Overall, I am happy with the series finale here. I followed this show for 5 years, and I now feel the way I did when Breaking Bad concluded. A great ending overall, but you know, it's going to be a little sad not to be able to follow this anymore, but I'm happy with the way it all wrapped up. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a bit because it's not a story I see talked about that often, surprisingly. Even though it's a pretty big deal, a $400,000 scam, that's not like pennies. You know, that's a lot. So I just thought it was worth at least mentioning since it finished today. That's about it. So, yeah. It's time we have an important discussion. It's something that I feel I need to publicly address. Stop trying to scam me. 5 days ago, I posted this video saying that I will give $25,000 to anyone who could find some videos I deleted from 2007 to 2010. As I mentioned, I believe it to be an impossible task, but On my Twitch streams, people convinced me that it might be possible, so I figured I'd make it a fun lost media challenge. Since posting that video, I have been inundated by low-effort scammers trying their best to deceive me. Like some real dog shit things like, Charlie, I'll double your Bitcoin and find your videos, just send the 25K first. You know, just like really dog shit garbage attempts to take the money from the challenge without doing any of the work. I started playing RuneScape in 2005. I have been scammed more times than a rich old lady who always answers a telemarketer's phone call. I have been used like a fucking fleshlight by scammers since I was a kid. I was baptized in the flames of scams. I understand scams, how to recognize them, and I'm not that gullible. I don't usually fall for scams anymore. However, the scammers are getting more creative and clever. I was almost fooled by one the other night, and I'll go over that in just a little bit. But first, let me just go ahead and talk a little bit about this Lost Media Challenge. I've received so many emails and messages from people saying that I owe them money because they found my first Gears of War sniper montage, a video that is currently still on my channel. People are literally just going to my channel and sorting by oldest and then saying I owe them money for finding those videos. You think I would pay $25,000 for someone to click 2 buttons on my channel? You think I haven't done that? Again, the challenge was finding the 500 or so videos I deleted from 2007 to 2010. And I'd mentioned I'd pay money per video that was found. And because of this, people have just been sending me random links to old videos that are still on YouTube. All people are doing is typing in the name Critical or Mabo Insano on YouTube and sorting by upload date and going backwards. And they're sending me links to things like my Torquebow Ricochet montage, my Gears of War 2 minitage, Bull Talk montage, videos that still exist on YouTube on other people's channels because I sent them there. I never deleted those videos, I sent them there because those were montage hubs back in the day, so obviously I know about them. Those were never lost videos. And what makes this pretty upsetting is in the initial video where I talked about this bounty, I even talked about that. I pulled up the Torquebow Ricochet montage saying, I know this is where people would immediately go to, you know, thinking that it's a lost video, but it isn't, and it makes it very clear that most people didn't watch the whole video or even watch half of it, because I even pulled up Gearsopedia content saying this is not lost videos, so please don't send it, and I have gotten hundreds upon hundreds of people sending me those videos and demanding that I pay them for that. It's fucking sickening. It is swamping up my ass real hard. Those aren't any deleted videos. You're not, you know, hacking into the mainframe and finding these by just searching Critical and going backwards on YouTube. It's like when I posted that video, I lobotomized all these investigators. Like they just turned their brain off and scrambled to find anything to try and get money out of it. Obviously, I would have looked up Critical or Mabo Insano and sorted by upload date, or looked at old entries on other forums by Googling it. You can't find them like that, which is why I put such a high amount on being able to recover any of these videos. So please, stop just sending me links to YouTube videos that have been up for like 13, 14 years. I clearly know about them because they still show up when you search for them. Another thing people keep sending me is the archive.org dump, which has a lot of videos from my channel on it, and they're saying, look Charlie, I found all your old videos, so where's my money? But what they didn't even bother to do is looking at those titles to see if those videos are deleted. The answer is no, they're not. In that entire archive.org dump from my channel, all of those videos are still on my channel, except for a couple that got blocked from old copyright stuff. But they're not old videos. Those are like 2014 stuff that got blocked on that dump. So it's not what I was looking for, and no one even bothered to check, and they're still demanding money from me for it. So I just wanted to clear up all of that confusion quickly, alright? Like I said, it's not some easy lost media challenge. It would be something that would take tons and tons of work, and I don't even know if it'd even be possible. Because like I said, YouTube can't recover them because this was before YouTube was bought by Google, so they don't have any archives of the deleted videos on their service anymore. So I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's even really possible. There's only been 2 people so far that have genuinely recovered some old content. One guy was able to find 10 seconds from an old glitch video that I posted, and then another guy was able to find an entire video that was deleted from another person's channel that had a commentary video of mine that I sent to them. From Pixel Enemy's channel, I made a guide for Star Wars Force Unleashed back in 2010, and that channel deleted it at some point along the way, and someone was able to actually recover it. So a bit later than what I was looking for, because it was never a video I posted or anything like that, but even still, that was extremely impressive, and one of the it is actually the only deleted video that has been recovered by someone so far. So yeah, I just wanted to do a PSA on that entire thing before showing you what I believe to be the most clever attempt at scamming me so far. This happened on stream a few nights ago. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Please stop in, put a few extra inches on your penis. We have a lot of fun over there. I'm probably streaming right now, and I would love to see you there. So come on in and say hello to me right now. Twitch.tv/moistcritical. I'll put a link in the description. I see. This is a pretty good thumbnail. Halo 3 Dark Venom's Lone Wolf game. Let's see. No! Someone did it! No way! There's hope! Someone actually recovered one of the deleted videos. Let's fucking go. Is there audio? Hold on, I have it muted. No fucking way! Wait, how? Yeah, send me either an email or a DM or something. And tell me what kind of work went into this. I'm pretty optimistic now. That's fucking big. So this was one that I deleted, like genuine. This was not uploaded anywhere else. At least not that I'd ever found. It wasn't on archive way back. No random channel, nothing. This was a fully deleted in the void video. So Mabo Insano Hunter, make sure to DM me or email me. Which one? Who put that in the chat? Let me see. And I need to make sure you were like the actual one that did this and didn't just take someone else's work. But yeah, I'll pay for this one. It's 25 grand for the entire bounty, like if you find every single one of them, but I'll go video by video. But I want to know what kind of work went into this. How are you sure this is your video? Because I absolutely remember this. This is the right map. This is the right song. It's the right length. I never went above like 4 minutes. Also back then, you couldn't go above 9 minutes. 9 minutes was the limit, so I kept everything super short. Let me see. Let me see if they show the Dark Venom name. Because maybe you're right. Maybe they did just somehow... It'd take a lot of knowledge to be able to recreate it like this, though. Oh, you might be right. I don't see Dark Venom there. Oh, fuck, you might be right. But how? How would they... Wait, this is very deep now. Everything about this was right, but there is no Dark Venom here. As far as I remember, he didn't have another gamer tag. Because you mentioned the song in your YouTube Bounty Hunter video. That is true, I did mention the song, but I never mentioned the map. I don't think. I don't think I ever mentioned the map. I can't really rely on like my memories of how the match looked, because that's not very reliable. Yeah, you're right, Ashy360 did post it first. Huh, that is very odd. There is no Dark Venom here. Thank you, Twitch chat, for looking out. So Ashy was first, for sure. Comment your name down here, or like your email or something, so I can get in touch. They could have found the map on one of the stills from your video. True. That's true. I also... But this, again, I can't really rely too much on, like, my memory of the game itself. I don't think he even won the game. From what I recall, I don't remember him winning. I just remember him dropping a decent amount of kills, because, like I said, we weren't good. We were never good. So him just doing well was, like, crazy to us. If you Google Lil John Paul 11... The guy's original channel pops up. Okay, let me see. The murder of John Paul I. That turned up nothing. You were right. That changed everything. I don't know what to believe, man. This has gotten very complicated. That means it's not recreated. That, again, that's why I'm saying it's very interesting. But if this was the Dark Venom game and he was, like, this is all genuine, his name wasn't John Paul. His name was Nelson. Not to throw the guy under, but I have good memory. I remember Dark Venom's name. His real name was Nelson. It wasn't John Paul. So I don't know why I'd have a Lil John Paul name. And I don't think he ever had another one, because I only ever played with him as Dark Venom. And I'm pretty sure when I posted this, this was the title. He got the title right. He's missing an A. It was dark with 2 A's, but this is it. This is what I titled it. I'm pretty sure he was Dark Venom in that video. I don't recall him being on the Lil John Paul account. What this also could be is someone just found an old gameplay free-for-all on this map and then set it to the song that I used back in the day, since I did mention the song. So they could have found this footage, but it's also not on this channel. So who would have posted this? One of these fucking milk-drinking children that didn't even drop 5 kills? Yeah, it is fake. There's a video by Perplexian Films. So this video is a video from Perplexian Films? Or is this just your channel now? You're right! Those goddamn ruffians! They tried to fake it. Nice. Chat. How did you find this? Actual fucking galaxy brain. That's low. That's pretty goddamn low. Thank you, chat. Huge. You could fool me. Well, I wasn't totally convinced either. I was the one that noticed the name, just saying. But you can't fool Twitch chat. How the fuck did you find this? So they took his video, pixelated it a little. Well, actually, they didn't even really need to drop the quality because it is a 2010 video. And they just put the song to it. Fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I don't think anyone will ever be able to recover those old videos. That's even more so scummy for the money aspect, but also just it's so immoral. You know how badly I want these videos back? To play with me like that? Ugh. You found it because Lil Jon is subbed to him. We have like real detectives in here. Things to give some spider in the prime horny. I wonder if I did contact them, what they would have said for how they recovered the video. Just fucking techno mumbo jumbo, just a bunch of jargon that doesn't make any sense. I tapped into the flux capacitors, vibrated at the correct kilojoules, recovered it from the ether. Damn, man, I got so fucking excited. What's up, everybody? It's Critical, and you're getting fucked. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. You might be watching this video and think you're a virgin, but I promise you, you're not. You have been, and are still currently, getting fucked by college textbook prices. Some of you may not be in college yet, or decided not to go to college. Doesn't matter, you are still getting the cock and cooter or keister treatment by college textbook prices. Now, I'd really like to go in depth on this college textbook pricing scam. Now, I'm a recent graduate. I graduated less than a month ago, actually. And the whole time, I wanted to talk about this, but I just couldn't find the right words, and now that I've graduated and matured a bit, I've found them. College textbooks can gobble my fucking scrotum. They can take all of my nuts right in their mouth. It's absolutely fucking absurd. Now, I've done a ton of research on this throughout the 4 years I was there, and I think I've kind of compiled a lot of information here that I'd like to share with all of you and talk about. Let's turn our attention to Figure 1. This is from Mark Perry of the American Enterprise Institute. He looked at the price of various things from 1978 to 2013, one of them being the price of college textbooks, and he found an increase in college textbook price of 812%. That is absurd. That is absolutely ridiculous. So how can they get away with charging so much for college textbooks and constantly raising the prices of them? They do it in a multitude of different ways, one of them being that they'll bundle the textbook with a lot of shit you don't need, like a CD that no one uses, a strategy guide no one uses, a study guide that you can only wipe your ass with. Sometimes they'll give you a condom so that way you can put it on the textbook when it's fucking you in the asshole. And you can't just get the textbook without getting all these extra accessories. It just doesn't work like that. Now, speaking economically, what you would expect to happen with all these price raises is people would stop buying the textbook because it's too expensive. It doesn't make sense to keep spending all of this money on the textbooks. But the problem is, in a sense, it's an inelastic good, meaning you have to have that textbook for the class. For instance, my university, the University of Tampa, required every class to have a mandatory textbook, and it had to be the latest edition. You couldn't use older editions for whatever reason. I'll get into that in a minute. But my point is here that you are a hostage to the curriculum, the syllabus. You have to have what they tell you need, and you have to pay for it. It doesn't matter the price. You need it, so you're going to have to buy it. So they don't have to worry about losing customers because you need the textbook. Now, that's not an absolute. You can get by without getting the textbook. For instance, I went through the sophomore year to my senior year of college without ever buying or renting a textbook. I did my freshman year because I just didn't understand that it was a huge scam, so fell victim to that and lost like $1,000. Oh yeah, speaking of which, the estimated cost for a college student per semester on textbooks is anywhere from $655 to $700 on top of the tuition, so that's a lot of extra money for absolutely no reason. Now, I know I'm kind of jumbling all my points here because there's just a lot I want to say, and I'm just kind of verbally shitting it all out at once, but the next thing I really want to talk about is the editions. They make you get the newest editions and won't let you use older ones, effectively destroying the used book market because it would have been cheaper to get an older edition, but my university, for instance, wouldn't let you do that. You needed the most up-to-date version, which cost more, and if you got it from the bookstore, you were just putting a fist in your anus because they jacked that shit up so much more than anything else. And the reason for that is because a portion of textbook profits that are sold in a university store go right to the university, so they get a larger cut if they sell it from their store, which is why it's a lot more expensive. But let me go back to the editions thing. Last semester, for my kinesiology class, I needed the 19th edition of this book right here. But like I said, I kind of got by without textbooks, but I wanted to see something. So I went online and I found the 18th edition completely for free, and I decided to scrub through it and compare the two editions, and I found that there's so minimal differences between the two editions. The only difference I could even spot were a few chapters were a little out of order. They were ordered a little bit differently, but that's it. There was no new information, there was no big revisions, nothing at all. So you would pay $100 more just to get the same fucking shit slapped in your face for no reason. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And according to a lot of other people who study this, the frequent edition updating is absolutely unnecessary because year by year there's not any huge breakthroughs every single year. So what's the point in going back and trying to reorder it to sell it for more? It's just to make more money off it and to keep profits flowing. And that's not some big conspiracy bullshit, that's actually what it's for. They keep revising this because you're gonna keep buying the newest edition for more money for no reason. And they know that, so they can do that. They can get away with that. Now, another thing you'd expect from an economical standpoint is that competition would make it impossible for them to keep succeeding and thriving in this industry, especially since it rakes in $14 billion annually. So you would think some other people would try and get in on that profit, but the problem is, there's only 5 corporations that control the majority of college textbooks. Reed Elsevier, Taylor & Francis, Wiley Blackwell, Springer, and Sage. Those are the only 5 real players in this industry. So these nippleless troglodytes can do whatever the fuck they want and not have to worry about profits. They could start selling you sandpaper fleshlights and put it as part of the university's curriculum, and you would still be buying that for $300 a pop. Now let's look at how they get so rich off of these textbooks. So, of every dollar spent on textbooks, 77 cents goes right to the publishers, the rest goes to the university that sold it. Now, of the 77 cents, 18 cents is pure profit for the publishers, whereas the author of the textbook gets 12 cents. Now, and then the rest of that is just on the marketing and the cost to actually put it all together, such as paper and shit. So that's a lot of profit. That's on every dollar. Those textbooks are hundreds of dollars. That is a lot of pure profit right there. Now, I know a lot of you who are in college right now probably use things like Chegg or get it on Amazon because it's cheaper. Well, yeah, it is cheaper, but it's still a lot more expensive than it should be, no matter where you get it from. And plus, not everyone's doing that. Some people do go to the university bookstore because it's more convenient and it's just easier that way. And some universities require you to buy a specific edition for that university. That's right. Some textbooks actually have custom editions for the university, so that destroys its resellability. So you're stuck with that shit for life. And it also just makes it so you can't get it anywhere else except from the university. Now let's think about this logically. How can there logically be a custom edition made for the University of Tampa, let's say? I don't think UT has any specific editions, but for the sake of this example, let's say they do. Let's say kinesiology has a specific UT edition. How is that okay? let's say the additions really are necessary, and maybe my experience was just an anomaly, and that the additions really are totally different from one another. How can there be a custom edition where you can only get that information if you go to that university? Do they just withhold it from all the other editions of that same textbooks for the other universities? That's okay? That's all right? That's ethical? That's just fucked up. That is absolutely fucked up. That just proves that the editions are a huge scam. That it's unnecessary. You can make a custom edition? No, absolutely not. There would be an outrage in the scientific community. Oh, I didn't go to UT, so I didn't know that the cock can sometimes go inside of the tits. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't just hold information out on a fucking professional textbook. So it's just demonstrating. It's them saying, ha, we're laughing in your face. We made this custom edition just to make more money off of it. That's what it is. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. There's nothing anyone can do about it. I know I can't do anything about it. I just can't march over to, let's say, Wiley Blackwell's headquarters and just start jerking off. It's not going to solve anything. Talking about it's not going to solve anything. I just wanted to get it out there because I've had it on my mind for 4 years, and I have wanted to talk about it, and now I just decided to talk about it. So if you or someone you know has been affected by college textbook price fucking, then I'm sorry for you, and I really wish there was some way to fix that. I think the best solution is to not buy textbooks from the university. Definitely do not buy from the university. Try and get whatever edition is the cheapest, because they are extremely similar. Even if the professor says that you need the newest one, just tell them to go eat some anus, because you don't, and you'll be fine with an older edition. And in my case, I did get docked a lot of points for not having the textbooks, but I just decided to take that hit because I would rather have my grades a little lower than they could be, just because I didn't fall for this scam. Morally, I was more okay with that than spending all this extra money on something I didn't need. But obviously not everyone's going to want to do something like that, so just get whatever's cheapest. If you have to get the newest edition, just don't go to the university. So yeah, that's about it. And to all the douche balloons at the publishing companies, I hope you all live in luxurious houses, massive houses, with everything you ever wanted, with all that money you extorted from college students. And I hope that every night you toss and turn, wondering to yourself why you still feel so hollow and unfulfilled, and you sit there teary-eyed reflecting on the marriage that you've created that's falling apart. Your kids don't respect you, they don't love you, they're embarrassed to say what their parents do for a living when they're asked by their peers or their teachers. And this empire of anus that you've created has led you down this path where you have all of this money but no happiness. So yeah, that's about it. Fuck you at the publisher companies. And yeah, so yeah. What's up everybody, it's Critical. I just wanted to bring the future to your attention. Quantum Man, the world's first downloadable medicine, and a lot more. Now this is 100% real. There's no smoke and mirrors, no unicorn sperm, nothing like that. That's a real doctor holding a real computer, really vouching for the effectiveness of quantumly downloading your shit. Now they have the standard medicines like your meth blockers, and if you've already fallen off the wagon, they have the meth cure here easily downloaded, so you can go ahead and put those days behind you. But they also have some very interesting things here too, such as the quantum massage. In case you got a real bad kink in your neck, you can just go ahead and download your own little masseuse. They got some quantum food if you ever get hungry, quantum laxatives in case your bowels are fighting against you, and there's just a whole lot here. Their mascot is flawless. It's fucking Dr. Manhattan poking his fucking finger in your eye, so you know you're getting quality when you're coming to Quantum Man. But let's check out their intro video.
Work. ZAG, a private humanitarian medical research group, develops biodata programs using its quantum computer. The programs are accessible via a portal, a means of quantum teleportation. This portal can then be unlocked by a user through the use of a Portal Access Key, or PAK, a number string developed to open the portal for a desired product. PAKs can be accessed via personal computer, mobile device, or tablet. Once opened, the biodata programs can be transferred to your brain's neural network, also a quantum computer. These programs rapidly and repeatedly deliver physiologic directives to the user's body to impart their health benefits.
Pretty straightforward, right? Easy to understand, makes sense. Now, don't let that scary voice dissuade you. I know it sounds like a fucking demon possessing your grandmother in a horror film, but it's real information. Now let's go ahead and peruse the website here. You've got the money downloader. In case you're ever short on cash, you can give them $50. You get 4 PAKs, which we just learned stands for Poking Anus Kangaroos. And then what this does, it will unlock their quantum computer and quantumly teleport, the ability for you to make more money, thus recouping your investment of $50. So it's a really good deal. I don't know why you wouldn't want to download money, especially when it's guaranteed to work. Just look who sponsors them. The Southern California Pet Expo, the Las Vegas Pet Expo, the Black Mountain Horse Expo. I mean, animals love this website. And you know what they say, a bird in the hand is worth two in the quantum bush. Let's check out what else I have here. Quantum Sex is by far their best catalog here. I haven't checked out Tiger Trail yet. What do we got here? I believe that is an old Shaolin temple drawing there for their logo. Oh, two tigers fucking. I don't know what else I was expecting. It's great. Obviously a reference to Tony the Tiger and Frosted Flakes. As you can see, Quantum Man is up on his references. He's trying to stay hip. So why wouldn't you trust him? And it's only $25. You are actually losing money not purchasing this male G-spot stimulant. The doctor over there in the picture, the reason he's so happy is because he is experiencing the quantum sexual tiger trail. And that is a good-looking doctor, too. I would not quantumly tickle his prostate. What else do we have here? Quantum food. Obviously, if you're ever hungry, just buy quantum food. That one goes without explanation. What else we got here? Clinical trials. Yeah, just don't just take my word for it. Let's listen to some clinical trials here. These are the most convincing. Here we go.
Hi, Doc.
Hi. How you doing tonight?
Oh, good.
Oh, good, good.
Really like the bliss.
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, I feel it in the morning, of course, more when my energy's high. But yesterday, I just had a bliss trip.
A bliss? That rhymes.
A bliss trip. It was just like
a perfectly normal conversation, right? He didn't sound like a serial killer, and the woman didn't sound like she was under duress. I mean, not at all. I mean, maybe upon first hearing, you might think that that woman was chained up in his basement being forced to promote Quantum Man's Bliss product, but no. That was a real clinical trial from someone who just really loved the product and wanted to participate and convince other people to purchase some quantum medicine as well. Now, I bet you're all very curious as to what actually happens when you purchase a PAK, so I'm going to go ahead and show you a video I found showing exactly how it works. This man used it for cat medicine, so we're going to go ahead and see the results. And then his cat's gangrene was cured. Thanks, Quantum Man. So yeah, this is the future. No reason to really ever leave the house for anything. You can just go ahead, sit at your computer, download food, download money. Really, it's all right at your fingertips. Now I'm going to go ahead and quantumly fuck myself, because this is a real thing that people actually do buy from sometimes, which is kind of sad to hear. But, yeah, as the old saying goes, when you mess with the quantum bull, you get the real wiener. And, as the Smashing Pumpkins song goes, despite all my rage, I'm still just a quantum man in a cage. But yeah, that's it. See ya.